Hello, everyone. Now, I know you were expecting a compilation, but hear me out really quickly. Back in August, I made part 2. Part 1, I meant. um, and that one did okay. So then I made part 2 in October, part 3 in December, and part 4, the last one, in January. So here we back. So this is what it is. 4 parts, couple months, 300 subscribers. I think I'm recording this in February, so I don't know if I succeed or not. But anyway, here is a 20-minute compilation featuring the 4 videos of the Disney 100 Failure series. Enjoy. Hello. I don't know how to begin this intro, so let's just say Disney's 100th anniversary turned out to be a mess for the company. So many things that I had to make it into a several part video. So yeah, let's see how this goes down. But first, let's see how the studio came to be in under 1 minute. Go. Okay, so there was this dude named Walt Disney, and he made a little company. He also made some theme parks and some other stuff, but then he died in 1960 something. And then multiple CEOs later, we come to Bob Iger. He made some interesting stuff to the company. He acquired some studios like Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, 20th Century Fox. And then came 2020. Iger was let go of Disney. A new CEO, Bob Chapek, came in. TV shows happened, some other stuff that I can't mention. There's a little thing called a pandemic that I can't even say on YouTube. And what was that one thing? I can't remember. Plus, we're probably out of time. Whew, that was quick. I think I have like a little bit of time left, and I think it's done by now. Yeah, that's the company Disney in just 60 seconds. Anyway, let's begin of where it all started for the 100th anniversary. D23 Expo 2022. Although they announced like a lot of good stuff, they also wanted to mention that this is the beginning. This is the beginning of our 100th anniversary until December 31st, 2023. That's it. We're trying to make our 100th anniversary good. We're trying to not go too thingy. They just wanted to play it safe. But eventually, they would have to face the truth. Although they announced several projects like Wish, Elemental, Haunted Mansion, The Little Mermaid, and other stuff for that year, it's only the beginning of this very, very big iceberg. Hey, let's talk about Disney's theatrical releases for the end of the year, shall we? Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Avatar: The Way of Water. These two exist, that's all I want to say. they were fine. One was a legacy, semi-legacy sequel. One was to dedicate Chadwick Boseman. And both of them were just movies. One of them did okay. The other one is the third highest grossing film of all time. And yeah, I think that's it. I don't know. What else do I have to say for these movies? Black Panther was the end of Phase 4 if you include Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. And Avatar did not stand well because there was another movie around the same time that I'll probably save for the next movie. But yeah, these two existed. However, I did leave out one movie though. That was Strange World. Yeah, we know how this would go. I mean, I talked about it in like the box office bombs video a while back, so just to recap, when the film was released back in November 2023, people were just not interested to go. Yeah, they were more interested to watch a limited release of Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. And even if, when it was almost coming to its Disney Plus release, people were way more interested to Puss in Boots. So yeah, all that plus some high budget equals a loss of $100 million. I wonder what were the studio executives thinking. Okay, fellas, we have a situation. What do we do about our upcoming film, Strange World? I don't know. Why not shove it in between two upcoming movies? You know, that's a genius idea. And guess what? Let's not market this movie because who cares? We're Disney. We can pay everything. But even if we have this little thing, who cares? It'll be shoved out under the rug. I mean, what can go wrong, right? Right? On second thought, I don't think I want to learn about that, so let's just move along. Now we come to Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, also known as He Finally Returned. Yeah, let's go. Haha. You're probably seeing him right now. Yeah, woo-hoo-hoo. He was previously known by Disney, and then they brought him back and all this. So yeah, woohoo! They brought him, and they also used him for marketing purposes, and I think that's basically it. Yeah, that's basically it. And I think I'm all out of ideas. So let's just end this video with... Let's talk about the previous CEO of Disney, Bob Chapek. He has an infamous history with the company, but I'm not going to go that into detail. What I'm talking about is his firing. Back in November 22, when Strange World was about to release, Disney made the somewhat decision to fire Bob Chapek, which I'm not wrong. He said that animation's only for kids. The quote that still angers a lot of people, you know. I'm coming for you. Just kidding. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, they replaced Chapek, and they brought back Mr. Iger of all people. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna have to make a lot of revisions to the company. Now that Iger is back in the CEO chair, that will only leave one thing. What is he gonna do to the company? I mean, it's now starting of the 100 years. It's now January 2023. He needs something to save the company. Because if everything goes wrong, he is the one with the problem. But Iger is gonna have to save the Disney company. in the worst way possible. Now that the new year has come, Disney in January announced that they would be making 3 sequels: Zootopia 2, Frozen 3, and Toy Story 5. When it was announced, people were like, why? Just why? Zootopia 2 had some, good chances. Frozen 3 was just inevitable, and no one asked for Toy Story 5. But then eventually people were like, we'll probably give this a chance. And then eventually they'll probably see them. They'll see them. Okay. What else do I have to say? Oh yeah, no one cared. That's it now. In February, another movie came along called Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. This was something. From everyone's perspective, it's either a love it, hate it movie. Most of it was hated. Yeah, sorry fam, no one was really interested, even if it was the beginning of Phase 5. And this was Marvel's first, or somewhat first, bomb at the box office since it couldn't contain it with a bear. It lost to a bear, I think. Did it lose to a bear? Who knows. I'm tired now, but we still got more to go. Peter Pan and Wendy. This was a streaming movie that was dumped onto Disney Plus, part of their, live action rampage. Anyway, I wonder who greenlit this idea. Okay, fellas, what are we doing today? We're doing a live action remake of Peter Pan. So, I got an idea. This time, we add Wendy to make it an actual person. Because, we need something. Right. Sir, what are you even saying? I don't know. Anyway, let's dump it on the streaming platform to let it rot. Who agrees to that idea? Okay, now we just dump it on the streaming servers and everything will go wrong. Right. What will go wrong? No one wanted to see this movie. Moving on to our last one. Disney 100th Expedition was a small thing that started in March. Or was it earlier? I don't know. Anyway, they gave us this abomination. What is this? I mean, it's Walt Disney, the man who started it all, but people were like, is he a hologram? I mean, is he a hologram? AI is slowly taking us over. Hologram Walt Disney is just weird. After a rough winter and spring season, they are finally in the summer months where, how do I say this? Things are only gonna get way worse for the company. But we're not even done yet. We can't wait for it to crumble. To start their summer off nicely, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 premiered early May of 2023, and that was an actual good success, ranking in good reviews and making around $800 million worldwide. Well, because this is a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, it's granted to be good. As of Disney's other releases during the summer, yeah, I wouldn't think I would get your hopes up for that. A couple weeks later, on May 26, 2023, Disney had released their live-action The Little Mermaid remake. And it was something. If you want the full context, just listen to the Scuttlebutt music video. Trust me, you will not. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, it was fine. It made like $500 million. Yeah, I don't know what to put. Elemental's box office is pretty weird. So let's talk about it. Although it gave some positive reviews, its opening weekend, yeah, there was no going back. It had $29 million for its first weekend, with other companies also releasing movies around that same time, like, The Flash and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. But then, when it reached overseas, it kinda went well, and it almost reached $500 million, which is kinda wild for a Pixar movie. And that's basically it. And then, to end their June, there was Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which nobody watched. It had $300 million. $300 million! What do you want to do with it? De-age Harrison Ford just for an action stunt? Why de-age Harrison Ford in the first place, though? Anyway, enough of that. It bombed. Yay. Yeah, it probably lost like $200 million or something, I don't know. And no one cared because Spielberg wasn't there, or Lucas. Instead, it was the same person that directed Logan. I don't want to do this no more, but oh well. And to end their summer, there was a movie called Haunted Mansion where nobody watched. Again. This time it was drastic, only making just $100 million out of a $165 million budget just for a Haunted Mansion remake. I mean, we have the 2003 one with Eddie Murphy. What's wrong with that? But, people were stingy. But that wasn't the only thing this summer. Oh boy, we just started it, right? I don't know. Now we're going to talk about some real world events. The most obvious one being the writers and actors strike. The writers strike began on May 2023 and the actors began at July. That would really complicate some things with Haunted Mansion because with its premiere, none of the actors could join and it was only just Disney mascots and the director. Yay. But before we talk about the actors and writers, I just want something to drink. Hold on, I'll be right back. Oh wait, I just realized I have these random powers I just randomly attained by drinking a Ixili or whatever it's called. Abracadabra. And it's working. Oh my god. I can't believe this actually worked. Time for a little sip. Okay, let's talk about that writers and actors. The reason why the actors and writers went on strike is because that they were like, hey, we don't want AI to control everything. And they have a point. I mean, I'm not into the movie business yet, but The actors and writers strike just went on all summer and continued until the fall. We'll come back to that in a bit. Jumping from live action to the television division is Primos, a Disney Channel cartoon that just randomly had shown its theme song during June. And let's just say that I don't even want to talk about it. Because, oh boy. Where do I begin? First off, Disney was just trying to be racist. And then the creator said, So what? You're not gonna do everything about it. And that's how you don't promote your cartoon, Disney. Yay. Disney Plus have been on a downward spiral since 2022. Their TV shows like Secret Invasion and Ahsoka are not doing good. So what's Disney's responses? Get rid of content. Some small stuff like Willow and Artemis Fowl and 200 other projects that they made that they just, okay, bye now. So they basically pulled Warner Brothers. But unlike Warner Brothers, Disney just wouldn't reuse them again. They're not on physical media like DVDs or Blu-rays, they just don't exist. With the exception of some movies that managed to get on some other streaming service like Amazon Prime, it's very unlikely that we'll ever see a good handful of that content ever come back. Speaking of physical media, let's talk about Australia. In July 2023, Disney announced that they would no longer be making any Disney DVDs or Disney Blu-rays in Australia, with the last release being Marvel Studios' Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in August of that year. And it wasn't alone. They are actually removing them from store shelves in Australia, leaving a lot of people wondering, why would Disney do this? Well, it's a very simple reason. Streaming. I know we already talked about Disney Plus, but streaming. Yeah, streaming. It's now September 2023. Every movie bombed in some sort of way, with the exception of 2. Disney Plus is literally failing with their movies and TV shows. No one wants to go to their parks, somehow. And everything else is on fire. Leading to, why continue? You have to finish the year. If Disney can finish the year nicely, then it can be good. Right? Right? It sure has been a while since we talked about 20th Century Studios, so let's talk about them. With The Creator, a movie that I actually liked, but everyone else didn't. I don't know. But it didn't make back its money, I think. I don't know. Very low budget, 75 million? Oof, man. Just for a sci-fi flick? That probably could have been 300 million. I don't know. But I saw a guy that talked about its production. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk. Going off sidetrack for a bit, let's talk about a short film, Once Upon a Studio. It's basically collaboration with a bunch of Disney characters, and that's all I know. It premiered on ABC in October, and it premiered the following day in Disney Plus, and it premiered in some theaters with the re-release of Moana, and people were expecting that it would release alongside Wish, which we'll talk about in a bit, but yeah, that's Once Upon a Studio, fellas. Now let's talk about their 2 November releases, Jesus Christ. First of their November releases was The Marvels, which got so much hate because they had women. Yep, they had women. And also, one of its cast members was in a Disney Plus show that nobody watched. Jesus, I probably should have watched The Marvels. Anyway, yeah. But trust me, it gets worse. So, what was Disney Animation's big Thanksgiving release? Wish. A musical with a villain that didn't reach Renaissance levels. Yeah, Wish was an interesting pick, to be honest. So, I'm gonna name every bad thing. The songs are laughably bad, with maybe the exception of like one. No, the characters are like something. The animation, they tried to do a 2D aesthetic, but it just didn't work. And let's just be real, the story just didn't sit right with me. And yet, that was their big Thanksgiving release, so thank you, Wish. You are surprisingly better than Elemental. Something I also want to mention is that the writers and actors strike finally ended, with the writers ending in September and the actors ending in November, which is good, because they got to do some stuff, and it's nice. The only downside is they had to delay some stuff for a bit, but it's okay. What's the worst that can happen, right? Okay, let's talk about Mickey Mouse. To end their abysmal 100-year anniversary, on January 1st, 2024, their mascot, Mickey Mouse, had entered the public domain. What does that mean? Well, people can use his likeness freely without, like, lawyers and stuff. However, they're only allowed to use Mickey's Steamboat Willie version. So, yeah. What was that? They're making a horror film about him. Huh. That's weird. And then there's its television stuff. What just happened? So, Spectrum, the TV company that shows Disney channels, had ended their contract. And they are not allowing Disney Channel, Disney XD, Disney Junior, Freeform, the FX channels, and possibly ABC to not allow to show on them, which is a bad move, just bad move. And thus, Disney's 100th year anniversary had come to a close. So much interesting stuff that I forgot to mention. But let's do one more thing. How much did they lose? Because I'm not a math nerd, let's just say that the estimate guess could be like $1 billion loss for the company. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for all that, and what studio shall I do next? Warner Brothers. Oh, fuck.